This thing is hilarious. And this is why I'm like, why do I like why people don't like Twitter? This is why I love Twitter, because when stuff happens,
Uh-huh.
it's like a whole
Yeah.
community comes together. It's just it's one of the best places to
We're
be.
funny. People
I
are
know.
funny.
Hey y'all,
Hey guys.
did you see the guy? Never, I don't think I'll think so. The guy
All
that
right.
swam across.
Huh?
Never mind. I'll talk about that. Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Welcome to
We,
the I was about to say the recap. Welcome to Maximize Monday.
yes, we were off last week. Um, had something to do with the family last Monday, but we are back. And as you are all coming on, um, please don't forget that this month, Transform the Lives Month, invite people to church with you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
say, dedicate their life, lead the church home. Come on and invite them out. Yesterday we had a move for God. People came, they got saved. It was a wonderful thing. Seeing souls come to the Lord, people
Yeah.
dedicating their life, connecting to the church, um, and it's just a great thing that we're seeing as God continues to do His thing. We
Mm-hmm.
always remind people this is God's church. It ain't ours.
Yep.
It's God's church, and God takes care of His church, and we always seek to be in His will. And we're just glad about that. Our back to school drive is this month also.
Mm-hmm.
Are confirming, solidifying our locations. But of course, we are collecting backpacks all month long. The 26th of this month, we'll be giving them out. And you can go to the Five and Below in Cherry Hill, and you can purchase backpacks there, bring them to the church. Or, of course, you can, if you don't feel like going shopping, you can donate on any of our giving platforms, click Catch the Fire. And of course, we'll go out and purchase the backpacks.
Yep.
We're bringing them on the 23rd of this month to Bible study. We're going to pray over them, and we're going to trust and believe that uh, as we seek to help those in need, that God will move in a tremendous way in their lives as well as in your life as you continue to sow into helping um, individuals in the community. All right. I need one of those light things. I'm on like I'm in the dark.
The light ring. You need an
Yeah.
angle towards the window.
Oh, the windows kind of make it a little darker though. Like
Yeah, but if you face the light will be on your face.
I know, but if I face the light, um, this is weird. The way I had this thing set up.
Mm. Okay.
Then I gotta move crap around.
We'll work on getting you a light ring.
I think I have one at church. I think I do.
One of those ones that clip right on the top of your computer screen.
Yeah. I don't know if I have that. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I used to have one, but it was pink, so don't
That's
know if
better.
you want that one.
That's better. There you go.
There
That's a little better.
we go. That is better.
Yeah, wow, look, real men wear pink. I ain't worried about it.
Very true.
Anyway, how y'all doing? Please do us a favor and share. Maya's birthday is today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, Maya! I was like,
Thank you.
the 7th year. Happy birthday! It is
Thank
Maya's
you.
birthday, everyone. Y'all wish her a happy birthday. She is 33, right?
Mm-hmm.
33
Getting
years old.
old.
Look at
It's
that.
my
God,
Jesus year.
right, God keeping you. 33 years. Praise the Lord. We pray
Yep.
that God give you a whole lot more years to come. Y'all wish Maya a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Shout out her, shout her out online on page, and we
Aw.
just appreciate her. We love Maya. We really do.
I
And,
love all you guys. I
I-
appreciate that.
and no shade either. Just see me being nice and stuff.
There's still time. There's still time.
I
We
don't know
still
why
got
you think
another.
I'm just. I don't know why you think I'm this shady person all the time. It's just
That's your nickname.
yeah. That's because y'all started with me, and then it kind of just branched off.
Uh-huh.
She's not no
Sweet 16.
16
I
years
like
old.
that, Helene.
She ain't no. She got a young face, but she ain't no 16.
I got asked like 3 times. Oh, are you still in college? Are you still in school? I'm like, yeah, sure am.
Yeah, right. You lying? Look at you. Anywho, uh, anything you want to chat about, share first, or no?
No. I think you
No.
hit all the good. I do want to make sure everyone, just to reiterate the whole catch the fire thing and how that corresponds to how we transform lives. Because we said before, part of transforming lives is showing the love and sharing love, because that rubs off on them, right? So us being able to catch the fire and give these book bags are another way of doing that. So really do want to encourage everyone to participate. We try to up the ante every year, especially now as we're all kind of heading back into like our back to our normal since the pandemic. I think is even more needed that we help out the community in this way.
Absolutely. Inflation is crazy. I mean, it's going down, thank God, but it's still high.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I try to be a total conspiracy theorist, but they let stuff go high, prices go high, and then when they finally minimize it, minimizing becomes your new norm.
Right.
So if you're used to it being $2 and they jump it up to $4 or $5, you get tired of paying 4 or 5, and then when they drop it down to 3, where they really want it, then you're like, oh, at least it's $3. You're
That's
used
not
to
too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I swear,
Yeah.
everything's high.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm like, what happened? But
Yep.
what can you do?
Yeah, today is transforming. We're celebrating Transforming Lives Month, and hello everybody that was coming. We were sitting there talking. Hey, Barbara, Helene, Laronda, Malita.
Thanks for all the birthday wishes.
Yeah, all the birthday wishes, Karen, and Anjanette, Tiffany, and all y'all. Holly, and if I miss you, I'm sorry. Hi. If your first time watching, type VIP in the chat. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from. So, transformation. I was thinking about this last night, how transformation, change is hard.
Yep.
It's not easy. And the scripture tells us that it's not easy. That because when we try to walk in the life that God called us to walk in, when we strive to be guided by the Spirit of God, you have two things that try to get in your way. Your flesh, your fleshly nature, your sinful side doesn't want to go along for the ride. So there's that internal battle. But then you also have these other battles that the enemy wages to try to keep us the same. And sometimes the way the enemy does it is not in the big and the huge. Sometimes it's in the subtle. It's subtle things that we don't think about.
Yeah.
That can be demonically influenced. Like, you trying to be more grateful, have a good day, and then somebody says something small to you that messes you up for like 2 hours.
Yep.
You think you're just dealing with a jerk. The person could be a jerk, or even somebody that you love. They just said something that just rubbed you the wrong way. I'm not saying they're demon possessed, but the enemy can use those things, or the enemy can influence a situation or a circumstance, something so subtle to throw us off. But where the process of transformation is not without its faults, your falls, your failures, but also your struggles too. I wish I can go to sleep and wake up and be completely changed.
It would be nice.
It would be great. People like, just have joy. You're like, I'm trying.
Right.
Have this, but the transformation is challenging. And I think if we put it in its proper perspective, we won't feel as off, something's wrong, and disappointed when we recognize, this is just a part of the process.
Yep. And that's what I was going to say, because I think the word transformation is one of those like words that I think is used often, almost like a fairy tale, like Cinderella. You know how the godmother goes as bibbidi boppity boom, and then she's the princess and wears a big ball gown, she's
Mhm.
transformed to Cinderella. It's not like that in the real world. It's a process. There are stages to it, and like you said, that often includes going to have, that often includes going through the struggle, or still being faced with some of the challenges that you're trying to transform from. So it's not like an instantaneous thing. It's a process, is a journey that you have to go through.
Yeah, yeah, and transformation is a lifetime process. It's not like a
Mhm.
one time, I'm changed, transformed. It's not how it works. It's a
Mhm.
lifetime process where
Mhm.
things are being worked out. And transformation also doesn't mean that once you've evolved, you never be tempted by a thing.
Right.
You could be tempted to go back. You just choose not to go back. The thing doesn't have the same hold on you. Like all of us have those few sins that we haven't done in a long time.
Mhm.
And you're like, wow, that's been a long since I did X, Y, and Z. You have a
Mhm.
little bit of curiosity about it, but the taste for it's not the same.
Right.
You're walking in real change and deliverance when your response changes. Doesn't mean you
Mhm.
won't be tempted by it.
Mhm.
It's just that urge, the power of that thing, no longer has the same control anymore. So I think it's important for us to recognize that, you know, when I was, it's funny, I was thinking about this, that when we see Jesus do an immediate healing,
Mhm.
we often don't consider the years it took to lead up to it. We just
Yeah.
think, okay, immediate boom's gonna happen right now. But after 38 years, after this time, all the stuff that was leading up to
Yep.
that moment is a part of God's process.
Yeah.
So he can fix stuff quick, but sometimes he takes his time fixing it.
Mhm.
It's like I said on Wednesday night, that right place, right time. We don't know how old the man was that was laying at the temple gate. We just know that there was this process leading him up to his moment
Right.
of healing. Uh, so it's learning how to be patient with yourself, which is hard.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
especially when we get so hard on ourselves. Good.
I was gonna say, because I feel like it's easier for us to forgive others, but when it comes to the things that we're dealing with that we need to be able to forgive ourselves on, woo,
Uh,
that can be the hardest thing.
it's challenging. It is challenging
Yeah.
because I think we say, how could I have been so stupid? How could I have been so dumb? What were you thinking? We start beating ourselves up
Yep.
rather than just accept the fact. What I've learned when we make mistakes, it's hard to forgive ourselves. It's usually hard to forgive ourselves because we still can't believe we did what we did.
Mhm.
Rather than just saying, you know what, I believe it.
Yeah.
Like how could I have been so dumb? Because at the time I was dumb.
Yep.
Like,
Sometimes it's just what it comes down to.
I know it sounds kind of blunt, but just be honest with yourself. At the
Yeah.
time when I did it, I wasn't thinking straight. I was crazy.
Mhm.
And your failure shows you what you can do, your capabilities. Put it that way.
Yeah. And I think the way you just phrased that, where you said, "Man, I was dumb," that's the things that I was doing back then. That is a testament of your transformation, right? So you have to be able to acknowledge those things in order to see, okay, yeah, I have transformed and am growing and doing better than, where I was.
Yeah. And that takes, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was talking to somebody about forgiving yourself, and how can I forgive myself for the things that I did? And ask her questions like, are you still doing them?
Mhm.
No. Are you still doing X, Y, and Z? No. When was the last time you did it? Oh, that's
Mhm.
been years ago. So my question was, why are you still holding yourself to a person that you're not that same person anymore?
Yeah.
But we struggle to forgive ourselves because we still tie ourselves to who we were before,
Mhm.
rather than recognizing that's who I was. So why still see myself that way?
Yeah.
Because it's not who I am now.
Right.
And you're right; it's a testimony of how far we've come.
Mhm.
So I think forgiving yourself is learning how to be real with who you are and accept what you're capable of. Now,
Yeah.
it gets on my nerves when people say they do something crazy. Well, that's not me. That's not who I am. Well, who the heck was it then? If it wasn't you, did somebody jump in your skin?
Right. Got evil twin somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, it may not be something you do all the time, but you have the capability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And what that shows is that since we have that capability, just learn to accept, yo, I can go this far. Let me not go that far again.
Yep.
But at least I'm aware of what I'm capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't define all of who I am.
Yep.
I think that's the problem. We define ourselves by our mistakes rather than everything else.
Mm-hmm. And I think another part of that too is that we compare ourselves to others a lot. You know, transformation isn't a one size fit all thing. Everyone's at different stages in their process of it, right?
Mhm.
And so we might think, or we might look at someone and glorify how their life has been transformed and they're doing so well and whatever else, but we don't really know the inner deep challenges that they might be facing, right? Just because it doesn't display on the outside doesn't mean that it's not happening.
Yeah. We know us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know the fullness of that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you see somebody, you think they got it all together until you get to know them. You're like, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
That's
again,
what I say.
outside.
Yeah.
So good.
I was gonna say that's what they say. Don't ever meet like your favorite celebrity, because they'll disappoint you every time. It's true.
I had you once.
Yeah.
It took a while for me to look at the person the same.
Mm-hmm.
To still appreciate the gift.
Yeah.
But be like, wow, the person is just, whoo. It was disappointing.
But I mean, it goes to say that everyone is just human. There's no perfect person. We are all flawed beings. And it's okay. It's okay.
And we all have space to grow. And give yourself the patience to grow too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're very impatient people. And give yourself the grace, which is so hard. We give other people grace, but we don't give ourselves a lot of grace. Give yourself the grace to evolve. I think because we see the fullness of the consequences and the fullness of how a thing affects us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for us to kind of give ourselves some grace to say, you know what, at that time I was young and dumb and immature. You know, or even when you're grown, you make a dumb mistake as a grown person, you're like, wow, that was a really immature moment.
Yep.
Let me learn from it and grow from it rather than let myself be consumed by the guilt. You know, because guilt is real. Shame is real. But guilt and shame don't change what happened. Guilt and shame doesn't make you a better person. Guilt and shame will tie you down.
Yep.
And God is not the author of you living in guilt and shame.
Yep.
That's a product of our sins and whatever. The devil wants us living in shame. He wants us living in guilt rather than us living in the freedom of God's forgiveness.
Yep.
But part of that transformation is learning to just be real with yourself, understand my feeling towards a thing, but also try not to live in regret. Now, you know, it's hard to, I think for me and some other people, I'm sure, can admit this. It's hard not to live in guilt and shame when you're suffering the consequences of what you did. Because the thought is, if I never did X, Y, and Z, I wouldn't be dealing with this now.
Yep.
And it's hard to give yourself that freedom while dealing with the consequences that have long-lasting effects. And sometimes we struggle because of decisions happened 10, 15 years ago, and we're still right now battling with the consequences of that decision. But know that God has given you the grace to overcome even in your consequences.
Yep.
And sometimes I learned I'll say this not to be quiet. He will allow the consequences to stay to give you some sensitivity not to do it again. You know, he literally will allow you to experience the consequences of it, the weight of it. So next time you think about doing it again, you're like, oh, wow.
No, let me think about this again.
Yeah, you're like,
I knew how this turned out the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, and it still hurts a little bit. And you're like, sometimes that wound,
Mhm.
God will keep the wound a little sensitive, just not controlling,
Yeah.
but just as a notice of, hey, can't make the same decision.
Yep.
Hello,
But I
Kevin
think,
Johnson. How are you?
hey, Rev Kev.
That's his new name, Rev Kev.
Yeah, that's why I call him on the side, Rev Kev.
Oh, Jesus.
But I think that takes a certain maturity
Mhm.
that might not come after you have to go through it, a couple of times
Yeah.
to say, enough is enough. And I learned the lesson. Because then the question comes in, are you going back to the whole timing thing? Are you really ready to make that decision to do different? Because some people, as much as they proclaim to not want to be in this situation,
Mhm.
find comfort in it, if that makes sense. And so it's hard to kind of move past it.
Yeah. The man at the pool.
Mhm.
Every time I try to step in, somebody gets in before me. I get comfortable where I am, because you can be in something that you hate for years
Mhm.
and resent being there, but also want to stay in it because that's all you know.
Yep.
It's absolutely all you know, and you can't stand it. But what's that? What's that song? Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Silence.
Yeah. I don't remember. I don't remember the rest of the words of the song. But the
Uh-huh.
premise is that darkness becomes a part of your life so much that it's like, oh, you're
Mhm.
back again, and you get used to it,
Yep.
and it becomes your norm. And even in something negative, it can be hard to change because you're used to it.
Yep.
And God's trying to give us a new rhythm, a new life, so we get used to a new way of living, so we won't stay in the old way of living.
Yep.
But again, that wound, a little sensitive, because you're like, I don't want to go through that again. I'm good. It's like getting your butt whipped as a kid one good time. You're like, you know what? I'm not gonna make that mistake again.
I think
I
you
remember.
slipped by a reminder real quick.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Like, can't do it again. Anyway, but transformation is a part of God's process. And next week we'll talk about this more, how transformation is a journey.
Mhm.
And as we walk with God, the more we are transformed, the more we are conformed, the more we are healed. How am I going now? The more we're healed.
So you look like you're transforming right now.
I know. The more we're healed from these old things. This computer's pretty old, so who knows what's going on. The more we're healed and the more we're transformed. But we'll get into that next week.
Thanks, April.
Bubba Juice Lane, one of the I don't know what's going on with my camera. I don't know. Oh well, we're done. Keep for you, as it relates to answering your question about your grands and them getting saved. Keep modeling salvation. Keep modeling the lifestyle, the love, the care of God. You don't have to be overly preachy with them, but share the faith with them where they are. Don't turn them away being overly preachy, but walk with them, love them, all that stuff. And our behavior speaks a whole lot better than our words do.
Alert from low battery.
Yeah. I think that's important because I think some people can be transformed just by the example of how we live our lives.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be up front, you need to do this, but we say this all the time, how we move, how we act, how we display ourselves, as Christian is the great example of what that looks like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my thing is tripping. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. But anyway, thank y'all for coming on. So you won't keep seeing my face pop up and down like this. I don't know. If I was old school Christian, the devil, get out of this computer. We like to bind everything up. Technology. Come on, devil, get out of here. Just over the top. Anyway, don't forget to join us. Tomorrow night is what?
Tomorrow night is the Diamonds Ministry
Yes.
empowerment
And then,
session.
Wednesday Bible study. We'll be back
And then we have
on Saturday.
Yep.
course,
We also
Sunday,
have Sound Mind on Thursday at 7.
Oh, okay, good. Sound Mind on Thursday at 7. All right, y'all. You all have a blessed day. The Lord bless you. Lord keep you as I keep going in and out, but I am here. See y'all later. And say happy birthday to Mike. Y'all blow up her page.
Thank you.
Send us love. Bye, y'all.